Alright guys, welcome to Reselling the Real Life, episode 12. Always be learning to learn about something different. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut of you don't always go outside the box of what you normally sell, but sometimes it's good to learn about something else. Even if you don't find it very often, sometimes you will see it. So don't just watch my channel, watch other people's channels, and you'll understand what kinds of things to look for. I always try to find these different items. Like for the longest time, I never found food processors, and then all of a sudden they started popping up everywhere, and so now I'm buying food processors. They don't sell for as much as they used to, but they still sell for good money. Um, so the different kinds of things to look for. I'm going to share some of the items that I've sold recently and something that I found recently, and then we're going to look it up together to see how much I'm going to make or what, because I literally know nothing about it, but I know it can bring in money. So, all right, so here is just some of my recent sales for the day, or for recently. All right, so I'd never come across any My Little Ponies, and I found like a whole bunch for sale. I got them dirt cheap, and well, let's just say off of this one alone, I made all of my money back plus profit. And I actually took a best offer on this. I sold it for $15, and yeah, I think it cost like what $2.60 shipping. So yeah, that was that one. I hated to let it go for so low, but I figured, okay, I've been sitting on it for a few months, and I've got a few more of My Little Ponies left. Now, I never used to do car stereos, and I got in a hangout with the Gilmans once. They told me how they tested them and what the likelihood of coming across them broken is, which is very slim. And I took a chance. I found a place that I can get them tested, like super cheap. And this one alone I sold for $84.95 shipping, or $84.95 free shipping. It actually cost me like $8 to ship, so it wasn't that much. So I was still in like stupid profit. I think I paid $8 for this thing. I think I was sitting on it for about 3 months, but it finally sold. I wasn't going to let it go for too much less. I was asking $89.95, but I figured I'm going to drop the price by $5 and see if that does anything. And 2 weeks later, it sells. So, car stereos, if you can find a place locally that can test them, they can be rather profitable. And for those of you who don't do t-shirts, look into doing t-shirts once in a while. It's like I found this one, and nobody had this one in particular anywhere. And I figured, okay, I'm going to play the money game and I'm going to list it high. And I sold it 3 times. The first 2 times, they never paid. This time they actually paid, and it was, I think this time it was going to Australia. I had a couple people from Iraq trying to buy it, but never set up their eBay account, never paid. So I was just finally happy that it finally went somewhere. I actually recruited my neighbors. Him and his son were holding the sleeves out because it was so large. I didn't have room in my office to try and move my table around to get good pictures. And the pictures weren't that great, but I really don't like doing pictures of clothing outside. It's just too bright. But this was a 2XL, but it felt larger than that. It actually felt like a 4XL, but always, always, always put your measurements in. So yeah, I sold that t-shirt for $60. And I have always been terrified of remotes. It's like, how do you know if it's going to go with this particular item or how to test it? It's like I found out how to test it, but it was always, are you sure it's going to go with this particular item? Well, the easiest way to tell is on or on almost every remote. Come on, there we go. As you can see down there on the bottom right picture there, it has some letters and numbers. Customers know what they're looking for when they're buying a remote. And I was lucky I picked up 2 of these remotes for $1 a piece, and I listed them both, and they both sold within 36 hours. So $2 to $60 free shipping. Yeah, I made my money. So if you don't know how to test a remote, grab a remote, put batteries in it, make sure the battery chamber doesn't have any corrosion, hold it up to a camera, press some buttons. Some people say just press a couple buttons. If you see the light, you're good. Well, I personally don't like that. I like to test every single button. It's like some people say that you don't have to check every button. I even take a picture of the battery chamber to show that there's no battery corrosion. But sometimes there'll be crud in some of those buttons that sometimes those buttons won't work. So I personally like to check every single button because yes, I have come across remotes that there have been like a button or two that don't work, and I would rather throw the remote away than to get a customer that's angry and then have to deal with an angry customer with about a remote that doesn't work for them. So if you need me to do a separate video on testing a remote, feel free to mention it. So I will make the time to actually do a video for that for you. Kitchen appliance parts. They are always good. I don't know what it is. I don't understand. If you take out all the parts and you're selling them, yes, as sellers, we make stupid money off of it. But in the long run, if somebody is replacing every single part, they're paying more than they would to completely replace their unit. So maybe their unit is just so good that they don't want to have to replace it. They just need that one part. Okay, I have no problem with that. Like I sold one of these for $17.95 free shipping. I was asking shipping costs before, but then I went back through and it's like, okay, people aren't paying that price anymore, but they'll pay, the top sellers were paying that, and it'd be free shipping. It's like, okay, so I just took out the free shipping, or I took out the shipping cost, made it a free shipping, and they're selling at $17.95 now. It's like I've got one left. So here's hoping that one moves soon. So yes, kitchen appliance parts. I learned a lot from the Gilmans. They are one of those that I actually learned the most off of. If it wasn't for them, I never would have learned about kitchen appliance parts and VCRs. VCRs aren't moving like they used to, so you actually have to pay closer attention to brand name. But it's like I even have a couple Panasonic Omnivision VCRs that haven't sold in a while. They've got a few watchers, but they're just not moving for some reason. So, but kitchen appliance parts, I think, will always be good sellers. I know nothing about stamps. All I know is I had a few stamps that I got dirt cheap, and they were brand new. And I sold this one, which actually covered all of what I had. It's like it covered my buy cost off of everything. And I've got several more stamps still, but I still am curious about how to move stamps. It's like I actually have a few used ones that I'm not sure how to move, but I'll figure that out later. Like when I get lower on inventory that's lying around here, I'll be going through the items that I have that I still need to get listed, and I'll get into those stamps that are used. This one was just new. So, all right, that was that one. And yes, I'm down to these items. I still have my rotary phones. Like I don't know why they haven't moved. I'm not worried about it. I know they'll move eventually. I mean, I've got 6 watchers on that. Here's my Panasonic, one of my Panasonic Omnivisions. It has 6 watchers. Keep your mind open to the different kinds of things that you can have for sale. Like you never know what you're going to find. You're going to find items that you know will sell for at least profit, or sometimes it's just get items in to get customers that will be happy with their purchase, just so they'll leave good feedback. And that's my only cross-listed item. I have that one cross-listed on Etsy on my wife's account. Magazines, I've already sold the good magazines. Now I've got the ones that just aren't moving. Here are some of the stamps I've got still. CD player. Just keep open mind about the kinds of things that you can get, the kinds of things that you can list. Here's something I've said it before. I don't do dumpster diving very often, but I got this item out of a dumpster, and I tested it with my son. We had a battle for a few minutes, and yes, I won. He kept trying to shoot his gun the wrong way, and I kept taking him out. So yes, I have tested it. It works, and it was completely free. So you never know the stupid things that people throw away in a dumpster. And I was like, really? You're going to throw away Nerf guns? Yeah, I picked it up. So, all right. So that's just some of the things that I've got. I don't normally do health and beauty items, but I got a whole bunch of the European Wax Center stuff, and I actually haven't sold any of the lotion, but I'm already sold out of the body wash. Like the body wash is completely gone. Like that sold out stupid fast. Like I've got some listed in of the body lotion listed individually. I've got a few listed as lots. I don't know. It's like I'm wondering if I need to drop that price more, but if I go too much more, it's actually going to lose money on shipping costs. Because I don't like to do free shipping, but I know sometimes that's the only way some items will move. Any kind of random items. I don't normally do signs, but this is something that I came across. I got 2 of these, and they're both damaged in one way or another. And if they weren't damaged, they would have sold by now. I already know that one, but I figured I would give it a shot. Like I got them both for $10 a piece, so I paid $20 for 2 of these things. They are super large, and they are not going to be cheap to ship. And I even have listed in here, feel free to make an offer. It's like I cannot control the shipping price. Yeah, I think because this thing is so large, it would cost, if I was shipping it outside of my city, it would cost probably $80 to $140 just to ship, and that would be FedEx. It is so large it would not go USPS. But always keep in mind different ways of, there we go. Stop the screen share. Stop, there we go. All right, always keep in mind the different kinds of things that you never know. You don't know everything, and it's good to keep your mind open to different things that we can flip for a profit. And I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, because there's always more that I don't know about. It's like I've tried my hand at suits. I've tried my hand at purses. No, I'm on camera, so she has to be here and say hi. Like I'm short and I'm cute. Mwah. Let's see here. Comments. I just randomly picked up a lot of 6 vintage My Little Ponies in stable for $10 at Goodwill on a whim. That was a good find. I can tell you that already. Like I only have a few left, but I've made stupid money off of them. The lot sold for $62. I had no idea there was any money in it before that. That is true. I think I saw a video from Katie Patton. I think she was the one who did it, talking about My Little Ponies. And it's like I remembered watching a video about My Little Ponies, and I saw at this yard sale they had My Little Ponies. Like, okay, I'll just give it a shot. I think I got it for like $5. It was stupid cheap, but I got it all, and they've been moving like crazy. I could have put them all in one giant lot, but I figured I'll give it a shot and do them individually. Rush County Picker. That Pepsi sign is pretty cool. I collect stuff like that. I've got both of them. If you're local, I can sell it to you. But I feel bad charging that much just for shipping. But if it wasn't damaged, they would have sold by now. Like, they both have cracks. The one has a crack right in the middle. The other one has cracks on the side and the corner. So that just to give you an idea of different kinds of things. Like, I have an account for books, CDs, DVDs. I don't share that one for a reason. It's too easily duplicatable. If people would see what I was actually picking up to flip for profit, everybody would do it. It's one of those things that I try to keep secret, and I keep it secret for a reason. I don't show that account. I have people saying, I want to see it. It's like, too bad. I'm not showing you. Good luck trying to guess. And he's like, I'm going to guess. Look it up. It's like, you'll never find it. And he's given up. He's like, I can't find it. Yeah, you won't. I do have a account that I'm slowly moving all my T-shirts off to another account. And I want to keep that account specialized. I was listing the Hero Clicks over there, and now that, for the most part, the Hero Clicks are gone, or at least the popular ones are gone, I've got all my T-shirts listed over there, or at least all the new ones that I'm getting in are going over there. Some of the ones that I had that weren't moving, I've taken off of my main eBay account, and I've moved over there, and some of those are actually selling now. I don't know if it's because I took pictures and repriced it or what. It's like HP or HB Picker. I completely agree. Can't give out all your secrets. Yeah, there's reasons. So I like that. It's good to have, occasionally it's good to have multiple accounts. And you can have one primary account for anything and everything. Other accounts, I try to specialize. And you notice that when you specialize, you can ask top dollar. It's like, I've listed several of those items when I was getting started. Some of those items, I just straight up listed top dollar. I was just specializing in those items. And they weren't moving on my primary account, but because I was specializing in another account of that particular item, they would sell within an hour. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. That's just the way people think. That way they see, oh, this person only sells this kind of item. Well, then you feel free to buy. I don't. Same person, same pictures, just different account. Okay. So, all right. So I picked up something that I literally don't know a thing about. I've tried this kind of thing before, but it was shocking. I saw it. The price was so low, I couldn't pass it up. An Electrolux vintage vacuum. I didn't even bother plugging it in. I just saw that I got it for $5. I picked it up. I put it in the cart. I got everything with it, and I get to the checkout, and the cashier is like, who priced that? It's like, I don't know. It was said $5 and it was on the floor. She's like, we literally just got that in. Somebody priced it wrong. It's like, okay, well, it says $5. I'm buying it for $5, and I got it for $5. So I was happy. It's a chance for me to learn something new, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure it out completely. If it works, how I'll figure it out, I know I'll figure it out, but it's a learning experience. I've tried to find vacuums. I know lots of people have said vacuum hoses of certain kinds sell well, and it's like, okay, I never find them, but I always try to keep my eyes open. And my Salvation Army has a bunch of vacuums, but they've been asking way too much money, and I can tell by looking at some of those vacuums they're broken. They say they test items. Well, it's quite obvious that one doesn't work because there's a giant hole in the side of it where the dirt is supposed to go. Why are you trying to sell something that's broken that you say works? Yeah, it's not going to move. So, all right, let's test. How geek are you? I got my potion of glibness. All right, so let's take a look. I didn't really do much looking around. I figured this would be perfect for me to try and talk to you guys about. I don't know how to look this thing up. All I see is Electrolux vacuum. You know it's vintage because of the color. Because they only made that color like 40, 50, 60 years ago. I feel old now. It's like I'm not even that old, and I remember using these things. My grandparents had these things. My grandparents also had a fridge this color. Let's see here. If you know where to look on this thing for any kind of model number or whatnot, please feel free to leave a comment and hope if I can figure it out. Well, how about this? Let's just go ahead and screen share and see what we can come up with. All right, so hang on, kill that real quick. eBay. Oh yeah, now you're gonna be slow. I tried looking it up when I was at the store, and evidently my computer and my phone are connected more than I thought. Yay. All right, let's try this. Price plus shipping, highest first. Because I've actually got something that goes with that. I can always hope. Vintage, so yeah. We already see that. All right, so this will be interesting to figure out. Okay, that's just active listings. Let's look at completed. Cute. A whole bunch of Electrolux. Different kinds of vacuums. $11,000. Yeah, no. That one looks older than mine, but this will give you the kind of idea. Always keep your eyes open of different kinds of things. That looks closer to the one I have, especially with that on the end there. But that's a different color, but it also didn't sell. $300 free shipping. Yeah, something this big and heavy, I'm going to be doing calculated shipping. Close, but not quite the same. I'm sure several of you know how to look at this. And I'm not looking at the chat right now, so I can't see it. If anything, I'm sure I can part it out. It's like I haven't tested it, so I know when I get around to actually plugging it in to see if it works, I'll then know. Huh. That's close. Not quite the same age. All right, let's do this a little bit faster. All right, how about this? Let's see here. You're moving slow. Why are you moving slow? I'm just trying to see if I can find one of just the hose. There we go. Not the same. All right, but that's close. There we go. Oh, very close, but not quite. But no, that's not it. Okay. But that's closer. There we go. Yep, that one's it. All right, we'll pull that open. We'll see, because that was under best offer. Let's take a look to see. Wait. Let's take a look, see what it actually sold for. $13. Okay, not bad. That was what, $13 plus shipping? Yeah, plus shipping. So worst case scenario, there's what I got. Looks and works okay. Really? It's a hose. You don't put looks okay. All right, let's go ahead and stop the screen share. Ouch, that's always painful. All right. So, polo picker. Ooh, very nice. Yeah. I literally know nothing about vacuums. I know the Gilmans used to sell vacuum hoses all the time, but I've never really come across any that were the couple that I have seen, you could tell that the hose was busted, and not really worth the time. So, if anything, I got my money back off of the hose, but it's still figuring out what will work and what won't. And yes, it even had that part. And that actually looks to be in halfway decent shape. But I think that part right there is missing something. So either I can find the part there to go with it, either repair it myself or just say screw it and part it out, and I know that'll go for something. I know I've seen some people sell those for good money. I've tried to figure out vacuum parts, and it even came with vacuum bags and a couple more attachments too. So I will figure that out. And the best way I'm trying to clean this thing is, why does it have my mind went to a dirty place. Sorry. Okay, so I know nothing of it, but I will figure it out. Yes, it is very interesting. So, I lost my train of thought there. So yes, there's always more to learn about selling. You're always going to come across different things. Sometimes you'll come across items that you can buy in bulk. Sometimes you'll find a whole bunch of items that are the exact same thing that you can list on eBay for a quantity. Like the European Wax Center stuff that I've got. I got almost every single one of those pieces for $1 a piece.
Oh, no.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. My wife is watching TV. She's freaking out about something. But, so I bought every single one of those pieces for $1 a piece. And I put up on eBay, on almost every single one of those, a quantity listing. Now, that can help and hurt. Sometimes you never know where to put your price at, and it can hurt if you're asking too much and you have all of these pieces that you're asking too much money, or it can help you by you're asking the exact right price amount and you sell out like that. So it's just finding that right price point sometimes, but when you find that right price point, you sell out so fast you spin your head. You're like, what? They're all sold? Wow, I can't believe that. All right, I learned something new. Or you priced it too low, but you don't want to price it too high. Just make sure that you're making your money. But at least with eBay, that's where it's at. I actually do want to make a video on something regarding Amazon, because I've seen a lot of people making that mistake recently. Sometimes it's the vintage items that you like to get a hold of to try and resell. I know some people say that they buy Bibles and they move them like crazy. I don't know if it's just me. I can't seem to move Bibles. I've tried. I've listed Bibles. I've gotten them so cheap it was crazy. I just straight up tried to list them and they wouldn't move. And after getting tired of it, I figured I'm going to make some happy customers, put them up for a penny auction, free shipping, and I think I moved half of them at a loss. And I'm like, okay, if these are not moving at a penny free shipping, I'm done. It's like they can just go away. Always keep your eye open for different things. Here's one thing that I have. I honestly don't remember where I picked it up. I think I got it in a bulk lot of something. Learning Light Laughter by Charles G. Gibson. It doesn't exist anywhere for some reason, but the bonus about it is somewhere. It's signed by the author. I've actually had this on my desk for a while. I do need to get it listed, but you never know strange and unusual things that you're going to come across. You're not going to know about it. Don't be afraid to stand wherever you're at and look it up, trying to figure it out. I've done that multiple times. I've done that with statues that I've come across that something about it said, look at me, you want to look at me. It's like, okay, I feel awkward doing it here at a yard sale, but I'm going to do that anyways. And they're like, what you doing? It's like, oh, I'm just texting. It's like, oh, okay. It's like I'm texting the wife to see if she'll let me buy it. Yeah, that works. Especially when you're by yourself. It's like, I'm just asking the wife if she'll let me buy it. I just took a picture of it. I sent it to her, and we're talking. It's like, something about this thing just says, buy me. Okay. Well, I'm actually looking it up. My wife will understand if I buy it. And I think I had a golfer statue by Austin Sculptures, and I got it for $5. And I knew Austin Sculptures, but I don't find them very often anymore. I used to find them like once every few months, and now I don't find them hardly ever. But that particular sculpture I sat on for a while, and I'm not really a golfer, but I just liked it. Okay, that happens, but I still listed it. It sold for $80. It took a few months, but it did sell for $80. It's like, I don't normally do statues, but I know there is money in statues if you can find the right kind. And Austin Sculptures is one of those to actually remember, especially if you can find that right Austin sculpture. Like most of the ones that I come across will go anywhere from 60 to 150. There are some statues from Austin Sculptures that are about the same size. I mean, statue that tall, either in bronze, cast iron, or some kind of a porcelain. I've seen them all, but most of them are just the bronze. That one, I've seen somebody post on Facebook, and I got tagged in it because they didn't know anything about statues, but I could tell it was Austin Sculptures, and I had no problem finding it. And I was like, are you looking to sell? Are you looking for a quote for insurance purposes? Or are you wanting to like do a local buy for somebody? Because if they were going to sell, like I'll buy. I didn't say what it was going to go for. It's like, no, we're doing it more for insurance purposes. Like, okay, you're looking at about a $3,000 statue. And they're like, oh, okay. It's like, how do you know? It's like, here's one that just sold. There you go. So they were happy that they had a quote of how much that thing was worth. And once I told them how much it was worth, then they were probably interested in selling. Like, yeah, now I'm not interested because you just wanted it for insurance purposes. Yeah, no, I'm not buying now. So learn different items. It's always good to learn because guitars. I really don't know much about musical instruments. I actually just listed my black one, and it sold. I did it for $4.99 auction, calculated shipping, and it sold. Yeah, I can't play. It sold for $20.50. Well, I listed it for $4.99 because my cost into that one was $4.99. So I got my money back in profit. Like, I hated to do it, but this one in particular, now that I've done one, I feel I can do another, but I actually would like to get this one tuned by someone who knows how to play, because this one in particular, if I can get it listed right, will go for about $300. So here's hoping. Because I actually had to pour money into that one to get it repaired. There was a problem with it. It was missing the saddle, and it was not cheap getting that saddle fixed. Yes, I know there is a tuner app. I have the tuner app. I have tried to figure out the tuner app, and evidently I am so bad it can't even recognize that. It's bad. I know, I tried. I really did. It's like the other one I was trying, and it was like way off. And it's like, okay, maybe if I pull up some YouTube videos and learn how to play, maybe it'll help me, because I actually wanted to learn how to play a long time ago. And it's like, okay, I'd like to try again. And yeah, I'm just, it's not me. No, I tried. It's not me. But musical instruments, always good if you can get the right one, or if you can find the right buyer. I know Alabama Pickers, he once had a clarinet, I think it was, and he paid like $100 for it. It was warped or something, and he sold it to somebody who would be able to fix it for like $1,500. So at least he got stupid crazy profit off of it. Tuning before shipping is a waste of time. Will untune during shipping. More looking at saddle, body, and neck are not warped. It's also, I do know that if you can get it tuned, that will tell you if the neck is warped or not. The black one, I had somebody tune it, and he was able to say, hey, this is not warped or anything. And then, so I had no problem with getting it listed after I sat on it for a few months just so I could look at it. Yes, I like to look at them. I can't play, but I can still look at it. So there's always something more to learn, and I personally like to learn more. I think that's why we all watch the haul videos. I think that's about it. I think I got like 15 minutes left, and that's about it. If anybody is curious, yes, I did get my DSI t-shirt listed. Yes, I do have it listed for $100. Yes, I realize I am asking too much, but I do know more about the band DSI than the other people who have their DSI t-shirt listed. So I don't mind sitting on it and looking at it. I only mention it because I got it on my mannequin right here. I would pick up the camera and show you, but my wife is in the other room in her pajamas, and she would kick me if I pulled the camera to do that. So.
What do you just put the camera right here on the floor?
Because Alice is right here. She's wearing.
Lift Alice up and carry her over there.
That's easier said than done. But I'm not normally one to do used CDs on eBay or Amazon, but once in a blue moon, you're going to see a title. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And normally when I go to look at CDs, I'm just looking for the ones that are brand new in the package, real quick wipe. You'll find them if they have plastic on them, and then you'll be able to list it. Well, sometimes you're going to have one that the title is just kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. Well, something says I need to look that up. Yep, Weird Al Yankovic, White and Nerdy, going for about $20 or $35 on eBay. This is a promo copy. I flipped when I saw it. It's like, okay, let's take a look here. Okay, promo copy, just the one song, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And my daughter is falling in love with the Weird Al Yankovic. And when she saw that I had Weird Al in the cart, she's like, can I have it? It's like, yeah, $20, it's yours. She's like, oh. What? We've been giving them enough stuff lately. She can pay for it. Sometimes I'm mean with certain items. It's like they don't need to buy, or they don't need to have everything for free. It's like I'm paying for it.
They pay for a lot of their own stuff. They don't get everything for free.
How often?
Just mean.
That's okay. I don't mind. Yes, they actually did save up their money. My daughter was saving up her money for an American Girl doll so that she could buy her for herself. And all of a sudden, her and her brother decided to pool their money together, and they bought some bearded dragons. And then they got this tiny little cage, and then they bought this really big cage with 2 heat lamps for the both of them. So they have saved their money, but they got pets, and they sleep in their bedroom. And I have to deal with the fact that it is jacking up my electric bill. Yay. Heat lamps. Gotta love them. All right. Well, are there any questions or anything? Because I'm basically out of ideas. Anything else for you? I did have one guest lined up, and he had to cancel on me. And I've also been trying to get Nathan Rombod back in here for another show to talk about something. And he is always busy. It's like he's never free. He's always busy. So, Nathan, everybody's looking for you. Yeah, I think that's about it. Not much more, at least right off the bat that I can think of. So, all right. So I guess I'm going to call it. Feel free to ask any questions. always remember to be willing to learn something different. You never know what you're going to find. You never know how much money you're going to make off of stuff. I have found items that I would make stupid money off of, but they were large, and I didn't have any room here to store them. I was very disappointed. They were expensive, but I also knew I was going to make like 10 times my money back. But yeah, I need a house. I need a house like now. So, all right, don't forget, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And I'm on camera, so bye.